GameRanks presents the top 10 best city building games. We just love building stuff and sometimes knocking it down, so we were compelled to make this list. Let's get started with number 10. Forge of Empires is that iOS game that you've probably seen really annoying ads for. Well, it turns out once you get past all that annoying free-to-play nonsense, it's actually a pretty good world and city builder. You can even play it on browser, where it initially started back in 2012. It's grown and added features since then, and now it's a pretty robust game. You get to be the leader of an aspiring new kingdom as you guide it through different time periods, building up your army, researching new technologies, and giving your city new developments in order to survive in this harsh, made-up world. In 2013, 10 million people were playing this game, so it's kind of a big deal. At number 9, we have Lethis, Path of Progress. Lethis is really cool because it's a city builder style game in a Victorian steampunk setting, which, I mean, hey, I'll always take more steampunk games because why not? It's got cool old school 2D style graphics like the original SimCity, and it's got a cool little bit of fantasy and history lore to it. This game will keep you really busy with over 26 different missions in a campaign mode. Then, of course, there's the sandbox mode that everybody loves. While it might not do anything crazy or new to innovate the genre, it's just a fun city builder with great graphics and awesome music. And the coolest part is that the system requirements are pretty easy. At number 8, we have Anno 2070. Anno 2070 takes place in a near future where climate change caused the seas to rise, so cities had to adapt to that. It's cool because it's kind of a city builder, but it really feels like you're building Tomorrowland visually. This is a city builder that really tried to innovate and added some fresh new features to make the game feel new and unique. This is definitely one of the more brainy city builders where you really have to plan your buildings out and manage your economy very, very carefully. You basically start the game with a ship, and then you settle an island, and then build the city. And then the rest is history. And the coolest part is that the end game is really advanced, and it'll keep you busy for a long time. At number 7, we have Dawn of Discovery. This is a PC city and world building game with some elements of an RTS. This is a pretty advanced city builder because it forces you to make cities that feel like actual real cities that you have to connect resources from different places. You have to actually manage resources and trade routes with other cities to build up your own empire. This game has construction, economy management, discovery, negotiations and politics with other cities, and combat. The details of the cities you make in this game are immense. You manage everything from castles and city walls down to alleyways and harbors and ships. Dawn of Discovery is really cool because it's just based on a sense of adventure, and you really feel that as you play the game. At number 6, we have Banished. Banished is a city building strategy game that starts off with a very simple premise. You control a group of exiled people who decide to move on and start their own land. And they start with basically nothing, and that's where you begin. And as you build up a city and an empire, you never really forget about the people in this game. The townspeople of Banished are your primary resource. They actually are born, they get older, they work, they provide and help your economy, and then they die. One of the most important elements of the game is giving them places to live and work, and to keep them alive for the survival of the individual and for the city itself. At number 5, we have Tropico 5, probably the city building game with the most personality on our list. Tropico 5 takes place on the fictional nation of Tropico, and you are El Presidente, the ruling dictator. And this is one of those city building games with aspects in everything. Building up a dynasty, managing an economy, planning cities, and keeping people happy. And also pushing forward into the future from the 19th to the 21st century. Tropico 5 is definitely one of the best games in the Tropico series, and it's probably one of the more fun and more popular city building games around right now. At number 4, we have SimCity 4. SimCity is awesome and really started it all, and SimCity 4 is probably one of the best SimCity games. It's probably currently the best SimCity game on the market because the new SimCity was an absolute abomination. We definitely recommend playing SimCity 4, but we also recommend the Rush Hour expansion because it really takes things to the next level and makes it incredibly awesome. You're in charge of not only building your city in typical SimCity fashion, which is absolutely amazing, but with the Rush Hour expansion, you're really tasked with individually getting people around. At number 3, we have Dwarf Fortress. If you're looking for a bit more of an indie, kind of fun, and quirky city builder, this is definitely up your alley. It's a great combination of a construction and management simulation, combined with some roguelike gameplay, which if you ask us, is a pretty damn sweet combination. The main game is set in a procedurally generated fantasy world in which the player controls a group of dwarves, who attempt to build a really cool underground city fortress. The game apparently actually influenced Minecraft, and it definitely has an old school quirky vibe with text-based graphics, and the fact that it's a pretty open-ended game with no real objectives. At number 2, we have SimCity 2000. Oh, what's that? I get to keep gushing about SimCity? Okay, cool. SimCity 2000 is the second installment in the SimCity series, and this is the one that really brought things to the mainstream. And the coolest part is that it's still really playable today. It looks dense and massive and complex and maybe a little overwhelming. Well, that's because it is, but it's so much fun. You can build anything in this game, from prisons to schools to libraries to museums, highways, roads, bus depots, train stations, power lines, seaports, airports, different systems of powers like gas, nuclear, wind. And the coolest part is that you can build highways to other neighboring cities to increase trade and population travel. One of the biggest improvements from the original SimCity is more control in budget and finance and general economy management, and it really added a whole other fun element to the genre that now these games can't really live without. But let's get to number 1, the biggest, newest, best kid on the block, City Skylines. Yes, City Skylines is on the top of our list. Maybe you hate us because you love SimCity, but City Skylines does everything so great, and it's the best, most newest, current, and non-shitty city building game you can be playing today. The game is kind of everything you hope for and look for in a city builder, and more. Of course, it has everything you expect in a city building game, like economy management, city planning, transportation, power, waste management. But the coolest thing is that it's detailed down to the littlest things, including just stuff like visual tweaks if you want to change how your city looks. Now, it has a few bugs, but it really is big and beautiful, and you can build absolutely ginormous cities. There's a huge amount of replayability, and even more so with Steam Workshop integration, where you can add a bunch of different mods and really change up your city. So guys, those were the top 10 best city building games. Of course, we got a few bonus games as well. Anno 2205, Citybound, and Concrete Jungle. But guys, let us know what your favorite city building games are down in the comments below. Let's argue about it. What's your favorite feature in these games? What's the thing that you go for the most? Do you like planning roads? Do you like managing economies? What? If you did have a good time and maybe discovered a new game, click the like button because that's the best thing you could do to help us out. And subscribing is even better if you're new because we do videos every single day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.